What if the next Lakers dynasty isn't forged in the roar of the Staples Center crowd or the flash of highlight reels, but in the hushed war rooms where cap sheets are sliced and deals are whispered through clenched teeth? What if the fragile line between another championship parade and yet another off-season of shattered dreams hinges not on the flashes of superstar brilliance, but on the quiet, calculated ticking of a trade clock, on a phone call Rob Pelinka makes when no cameras are watching? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama because, trust me, these past 24 hours have blown the Lakers' universe wide open in ways we never could have expected. The ink isn't just drying on Marcus Smart's deal, it's rewriting the playbook entirely. This isn't a finish line. It's the starting pistol for a series of moves so seismic, so loaded with chess-like precision, that every fan in LA is holding their breath waiting for the next play. To make room for Smart's gritty, relentless defense, the Lakers sent Shake Milton packing, a small tremor that only foreshadows the quake Pelinka's about to unleash. But let's not kid ourselves. This roster, for all its star power, still sports glaring holes, cracks that a single new signature can't repair alone. Into this swirling storm walks P.J. Washington, the unassuming yet tantalizing four-out wing from Dallas, sitting on an expiring $14.1 million contract, suddenly thrust into the spotlight as the possible missing link between what this team is and what it desperately craves. Why him? Because the Lakers' hunt for a perimeter defender capable of spacing the floor with a steady scoring touch has stretched long and wild, and PJ offers that elusive cocktail. Lockdown defense, tough rebounding, an average of 14 points a game that signals consistency without fuss. All packaged in a deal the front office can stomach without bleeding precious draft capital or young talent like Dallin Terry. It's a chess move on a grand scale. Dallas is said to be open to parting with Washington, an intriguing footnote, considering Luka Doncic's magnetic presence in their locker room chemistry, making PJ's departure possible, even logical. But the plot thickens. Amid the murmurs, Andrew Wiggins' name gleams brighter than ever, a real target for the Lakers if only the salary cap dance and trade assets align just right. Could the Lakers leverage savvy be-out signings like Smart to conserve their trade chips for a higher impact swingman? The scenario is dazzling and daunting in equal measure. P.J. Washington might not have the headline-grabbing sizzle of Wiggins or the raw upside of a Herb Jones, but he embodies a practical, concrete chance to deepen the rotation without mortgaging a future star or a coveted first-rounder, a luxury these days most teams can't afford. Now, here's where the tension tangles tighter. Smart's signing hasn't been officially locked because the Lakers must juggle cap space with surgical precision, needing to free up roughly $1.2 million to $1.3 million to trigger his full biannual exception. That brings Jordan Goodwin into the mix, a player showing promising sparks off the bench, yet seemingly the easiest chip to move. But he hasn't been waived, not yet. Why? Because Pelinka's playing a high-stakes game where financial necessity collides with asset preservation and timing, where every move could trigger a chain reaction. Rumors swirl that Pelinka's patience isn't indecision. It's a strategic hold as he calculates whether he can squeeze a trade that flips this spare cap space into a player who can genuinely tilt the floor for LA. Imagine the possibilities. Marcus Smart's tenacious defense igniting the bench alongside a mutually beneficial Jake LaRavia, playing alongside a LeBron who shifts to the fore, rolling out bigger, more versatile lineups designed to disrupt and dominate on both ends. It's a resurrection plan crafted to elevate this team, not by surrendering precious lottery picks or beguiling young prospects, but by outsmarting the cap and extracting maximum value from overlooked assets like D'Angelo Bembry and Smart moves. Emblematic of front office brilliance in a league notorious for punishing short-sightedness. But this blessing, this shrewd under-the-radar management, carries strings as taut as a high wire. The Lakers are tiptoeing across cap space, roster spots, and chemistry with a tension that could snap at any moment. So can Pelinka deliver not just a single, quiet roster tweak, but a multi-phase metamorphosis to pivot this season from hopeful to threatening, from hopeful to championship caliber? The team is balanced perilously on a razor's edge, a cocktail of raw talent and veteran smarts, each ingredient precariously poised to either amplify greatness or fuel unraveling. That brings us back to P.J. Washington once more. A player who, while not setting the league ablaze with star-level defense, offers the type of consistent versatility L.A. has been chasing. Strong rebounding, sturdy defense, and solid shooting that could liberate Austin Reeves to find his natural scoring rhythm off the bench rather than bearing the full offensive burden. Yet the Lakers fan base and league insiders remain split. Some pine for the potential game-changing allure of Andrew Wiggins, a player whose stardom danced tantalizingly out of reach in Golden State and whose arrival could recalibrate the entire team's dynamic. This division goes beyond the box score. It's a test of trust in the front office's vision and execution. What if the gamble on Washington falls flat, failing to shore up the defense as hoped? What if waiving Goodwin is merely the opening move in a convoluted series of adjustments, desperately trying to force incompatible pieces to fit? Lakers history is littered with heartbreaks, false dawns, and agonizing rebuilds. And now here we stand once again in the eye of yet another turbulent storm trap between rugged decisions, looming trades, and a suddenly revitalized bench. Infused with the tenacity of Smart and LaRavia, the carrot dangling on the horizon, that potent 2031 first-round pick bundled with Dallin Terry, a future asset many teams would sacrifice a king's ransom to possess. Is this the dawn of a quiet revolution, a methodical retooling promising a lockdown defense fused with offensive firepower that breaks the seemingly eternal post-Kobe curse? As a Laker until my last breath, this is what I see coming: a battlefield where stakes transcend basketball itself, where legends battle fading time, where young stars haul the crushing weight of endless expectation, where front office brilliance wrestles with the unforgiving numbers game of luck and timing, where Genie's stewardship is tested by power plays hidden from the public, where the heart of Los Angeles holds its breath, because purple and gold isn't just a color, it's conviction, legacy, family. So now I turn it over to you, Drop. Your rawest, unfiltered takes below, every true believer in the purple and gold, because this story, it's far from over, and every voice rings out in the echo chamber of history that defines Lakers basketball. Listen up, Lakers Nation, this moment right here, it's blood-boiling, jaw-clenching, heart-pounding madness. And if you're not feeling it deep in your gut, then you've forgotten what it means to bleed purple and gold. This isn't some rerun or a highlight reel. This is the front lines of our legacy being tested in real time, where the ghosts of Magic's no-look passes and Kobe's Mamba mentality haunt every crucial decision, whispering in our ears, reminding us that nothing short of greatness will ever be enough. Because here's the raw, unfiltered truth: we're staring down the barrel of possibly the most tumultuous crossroads this franchise has faced since the painful unraveling after those 2010 glory nights. That cruel post-Kobe twilight where we all felt the air get sucked out of the room. And yes, the 2020 bubble felt like a miraculous phoenix rising from the ashes of heartbreak. But the years since have proven just how fragile that ascent really was. Now, LeBron James bearded, battle-worn, the Titans still refusing to bow carries, not just the burdens of nightly heroics and the ghosts of rings won and lost, but the crushing weight of knowing his window shrinks with each tick of the clock. At 39 years old, every dribble, every contested jumper, every defensive assignment resonates with an urgency unlike anything before, because deep down, he knows this could be the last symphony of his storied Lakers career. And oh, you better believe he's fighting with every fiber. But genius requires a supporting cast worthy of the stage. And that's where the front office tightrope walk gets real. Enter Anthony Davis, whose name has been both a promise and a question mark for years. This is a D's moment to transcend potential and become an unshakable Lakers cornerstone. To wrestle destiny away from injury woes and inconsistency. To embody the kind of two-way force that separates champions from pretenders. Yet, with all that promise, rests a perilous question. Can he shoulder this weight without cracking? Can he stand tall as the Hulk of the paint when the pressure cooker ignites? Or will the narrative repeat the painful cycles of yesterday, the what-ifs and could-have-beens that haunt Lakers lore? And then, lurking in the shadows, is Bronny, the son of the king, a spectral figure walking, a tightrope between being a beloved legacy and forging his own path without the crushing expectation of the past. If he ascends, it could pivot this franchise toward a rare generational resurrection, a passing of the torch wrapped in hope. If he stumbles, it would add another layer of weight to an organization already buckling beneath the weight of history. Now let's speak of Austin Reaves, our Scrappy, five-star heartthrob whose offense could explode if given breathing room. Yet that breathing room depends entirely on the successful integration of players like P.J. Washington. P.J. isn't glamorous. He's not flashing all-star lights or prime-time dunks. But his steadiness could grant Reaves the space we all hope for, a chance to shine without carrying the entire purple and gold offense on his back. But gamers, here's where it gets absolutely cinematic. What if that isn't enough? What if PJ's steady defense, his rebound toughness, his spot-up shooting is just a bandage on a hemorrhaging roster? What if the Lakers front office gambles too small, too late, and the coming West Storm smashes through like a freight train? Jeannie Buss stands at the helm amid all this, a dynasty, matriarch who has navigated fortune and failure with a grace few could muster. But whispers swirl louder by the day. Whispers of billionaire bidders circling like sharks ready to pounce on this storied franchise with money that could rewrite the NBA's very fabric. Imagine new power players disrupting decades-old orders, buying banners, engineering super teams while the Lakers wrestle with cap gymnastics and roster puzzles as fragile as ancient glass. Could Jeannie resist such forces, or is the power balance in LA on a knife edge, ready to tip and send shockwaves through not just our city, but a league built on star power and dynasties? And oh, how the West awaits! The Warriors, with their storied Splash Brothers, are not done yet. The creaking bones of age hidden beneath the lethal precision of Steph and Clay, still capable of blitzkrieg runs that leave opponents gasping. Denver, ravenous and young, clutching their trophies as reminders of what could have been last season, silently plotting a return with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic locking horns in the heart of every playoff genesis. Phoenix and the Clippers hungry, packs waiting to exploit any Lakers misstep, salivating at the prospect of an empire faltering just when the dust seems to settle. But the Lakers, in this glorious mess, are hunting for a revolution born not of brute force or star-studded signings. Alone but of smart surgical moves a team forged from the gritty. Grinding nights that remind us of the gritty 1980s Showtime era where Magic's wizardry disguised an ironclad commitment to togetherness and defense, where the courts belonged to Lakers because they knew how to not only dazzle, but dominate with heart and intelligence. Picture that DNA being revived, reborn not with spectacle, but with discipline and pragmatism, the kind of rebuilding that lands quietly before roaring back like a sleepwalking giant awakened. But then again, what if? What if the gamble on P.J. Washington is a costly mirage, a patch that falls off just when you need it most? What if holding Jordan Goodwin a little longer stalls progress, blocks a more impactful trade that could tilt the roster from hopeful to bold contender? What if these tinkering moves fracture locker room chemistry, turning once deep resilience into mounting frustration and locker room tension so thick it bleeds onto the court? The Lakers' locker room isn't just a group of players. It's a pressure cooker where legacies are made and broken, where egos clash and merge, where veterans pass down the torch to the hopeful young guns. Just imagine the fragile equilibrium, shattered by missteps or misfit personalities thrown together out of desperation rather than design. And the stakes. Oh, the stakes couldn't be higher because this isn't just a season. It's LeBron's twilight, a D's proving ground, Bronny's coming of age, and untold futures all colliding on this crucible stage. Imagine that late season. Clash in Crypto.com. The crowd a tidal wave of passion and pressure. P.J. Washington locked in a thrilling duel with Klay Thompson, each possessing a war of wills, an emblem of survival and redemption. Or envision Andrew Wiggins if he joins the once dazzling star seeking new light in a new city, wrestling with his own demons, desperate to prove himself worthy again. What stories will these matchups write? What heartbreaks or triumphs will burn into Lakers lore? The Western Conference stands as a battleground where every mistake echoes, every triumph is magnified. Warriors, Nuggets, Suns, Clippers, all eyes on the Lakers to see if this facade is a first step to a new dynasty or the prologue to another painful slide into mediocrity. The franchise's history is etched in glorious triumph and soul-crushing loss, a pendulum swinging from Magic's Showtime blitzkrieg to Shaq and Kobe's gladiatorial kingdoms, from Kobe's last blazing chapters to that miraculous 2020 bubble title that felt like destiny rediscovered, followed by years of faltering light, injury clouds, and grinding stagnation. This history isn't just lore, it's a living, breathing force shaping every front office decision, every player's weight on the floor. And as the Lakers stand on this knife's edge, I see a fierce rage beneath the surface, the rage of fans, of a city, of a legacy screaming for rebirth, but terrified of losing what little glory is left. The stakes? They couldn't be higher. The potential? Monumental. The risks? Even greater. This franchise is poised either for spectacular resurrection or a shattering collapse that will echo through the ages. As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. The next chapter bleeding raw, written in sweat and sacrifice, a desperate gamble on grit over glam, on savvy over superstardom, on legacy forged in battles quietly won rather than headlines, loudly proclaimed. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your rawest take below. Every true believer in purple and gold. What side of this razor's edge does our future fall? The fate of the Lakers isn't just in the players or the front office. It's in the heart of every fan who dares to hope, to scream, to bleed purple and gold for everything it's worth.